Hi, thank you for your time. Can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Lindsay Schoenbohm. I'm the chair of chemical and physical science, and I'm also a professor of earth science.
Can you tell me about your educational background and where you studied?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm American. I grew up in Wisconsin. I went to a school, a small liberal arts school in Minnesota called Carleton College, which is different from Carleton University, and I studied geology there. It was a very small program, but a lot of fun. We did a lot of field trips, and it's sort of known for its geology. I took a year off. I worked at the University of Minnesota Duluth in a limnology lab, so we studied lake sediments. And then I went to do graduate school at MIT in Boston, and I spent 5.5 years there working on a research project in China. And then I did a postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Potsdam in Germany, and I worked in Argentina and China, research projects there while I was doing my postdoc. And then I moved to a faculty position. I was a professor of earth science at Ohio State University for 4 years, and then I got my job here in 2009.
Wow, wonderful. You have traveled a lot. What was the reason? What made you think that you are a good scientist and you like to do research?
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, enjoying it and being good at it. I guess they often correlate, but they don't always. So I think, enjoying it. Like earth science gives you an opportunity to get outdoors and to travel, and it's a forensic science in a lot of ways. You're trying to reconstruct what happened from limited evidence, and so there's a sort of fun puzzle to solving it. And so. And I like rocks, and I like mountains, and I like maps, and so that's why I enjoy it. And knowing that I was good at it, I mean, I think when I was in high school, I was on a science Olympiad team, and I was the rocks and minerals person, and no one else wanted to do it, but I did well, and I think that positive feedback sort of put me on the right, on the pathway. And then, yeah, I guess you have little pats on the back as you go along that encourage you and make you feel like you're doing a good job at the research.
Do you have any advice for students who may be interested in doing research?
Well, I think as an undergraduate, there are a lot of opportunities to get involved in research, including classroom projects. But we have the Research Opportunity Program and the Air Lab JCB 487, the Air Lab project, which is really cool. And then we also have thesis opportunities, so CPS 489, and taking advantage of those is huge. And some of those are fairly straightforward. The ROP projects are advertised, so there's a way, if you have trouble knowing how to approach a professor and ask them about a project, well, you can look for, it's like a job board, right? So you can go and look at the ROP projects, and getting to know professors in your classes, and then finding out from them, if you enjoy the research that they're doing, you can approach them and ask if there's an opportunity for you to do research with them. So that's the getting to know where the opportunities are is a big part of doing the research. And advice for doing the research is to pick something you enjoy and are good at. And to figure out what that is, I think there's some experimentation involved. And so taking advantage of as many opportunities as you can while you're here at UTM.
Amazing. So you are the chair right now. You have an incredible busy schedule, definitely. How would you describe your life as a chair of CPS department?
Yeah, it is very busy for sure. I have a lot of different. It's hard to imagine what the role is until you get in it. I was surprised, the first month or two with all of the things that I'm involved in. There's a lot of administrative things, so all of the course schedules and the course offerings and the caps and what we're offering several years in advance, and changes in our curriculum. If we're adding a new course, removing a course, or adding a program, that's generated by the faculty, but ultimately I'm the one who's approving that or not and shaping it. There's a lot of a lot of things related to HR, so human resources. So that's hiring people. So when we decide who we want to hire into a faculty position or a staff position, I'm involved in that. And then I run the searches, and then I negotiate and try to convince the person to come here. But then also when there's personnel issues in terms of if somebody is ill or goes on a parental leave, or if there's a problem in the classroom or whatever, I'm involved in dealing with those problems. And then I'm also responsible for the budget. And so everything from setting a 5-year plan for the budget and advocating for more money from the dean's office down to signing reimbursements for going to lunch with a group of students. I'm ultimately responsible for that. And then there's setting the overall agenda of the department, thinking about where we're going. So it's both minutia, day to day, but also the long-term planning, which is the stuff I enjoy the most.
Interesting. My final question would be, would your younger self be happy with who you are right now?
Would my younger self be happy? Yes, I think so. One of the joys of this job is that there's so much ability to change. You never get bored, I guess, right? And so all professors are involved in research, and often with students, graduate students and undergraduate students. We're also involved in teaching, and a lot of us have a tremendous passion for it. We often are involved in outreach. We're also involved in service, and the balance can change over time. So I'm doing more service, more administration these days, and I do feel like I'm doing good in the world. But in the future, I may end up doing more research or more teaching, and so you have this ability to shift over time and always stay interested and keep everything fresh. And that hasn't changed. So when my younger self, I would be surprised that I'm in this role in this office, but I think I would recognize that that I had just followed the pathway, and this is where I am right now, and I'm making a difference, I hope, for people. And so I think my younger self would appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.